Yes, but when we look at not only even the African spiritual traditions, but even the indigenous, those who work with nature, those whose traditions have always been about respecting and revering nature, such as the Native American traditions or even the European pagans before Rome turned everything into a religion and then tried to kill them all off and start calling people pagans. Go on.
So doing that, right, again, I always go into the psychological, I always like to go into the psychological aspect, right? And so when you look at the way in people view nature, you get their concepts of God or deity, principles, etc., etc. So
absolutely, all of them.
It makes sense, okay, to me, why a people who lived within a place where nature was always abundant to them, nature was always kind to them, right? Nature was always
absolutely
kind.
Yes.
Nature was always kind. People say my volume's low. Nature was always kind, and it was always fruitful to them. So then the God concepts, I would guess, from those people would say nature, if nature and God are intertwined, that the God concepts of those people would be gods who are abundant, gods who are kind. But if you juxtapose that, now to people who were grown in a cold, harsh environment, right?
Yeah.
By no fault of their own, maybe their concepts of nature and God may be cold and harsh also. And so for me, I find
100%.
I find that the God concepts of the people who are, I guess, raised in a different environment, they differ from God's concepts and principles of people who weren't raised in that environment.
100%, Sarah. And you see, look, it still afflicts us today, which is why when you look in the capitalist system and its principles of hoarding, because capitalism, if you want to call it, is a baby from the Roman Empire. Yeah, you can't really separate the two at all. Yeah, so we have all these concepts of hoarding. We don't actually even need to, let's say, be butchering more animals to even have food to eat, but somebody's stockpiling this stuff in some big warehouse for God knows how many years and then selling it on slowly. Then we have all these foods that then end up giving us all form of cancers because the meat has been stored there for a decade and then some. So your environment absolutely informs your worldview, 100%. So it's really, to me anyway, and as of now, it's no wonder that the God of the Old Testament is such a belligerent, like the nastiest kind of human being you could ever meet. Yeah, this man is vengeful. Exactly. This man will kill you. Like it's all just, it doesn't reflect the love. It doesn't reflect the compassion. Yeah, they're looking after everybody. This God likes gangs. If you're not in my gang, go kill the other gang. Yeah, like these are not ideas that you would think the most high of everything should have, but it's there.
So let me just let me touch on that. So we've seen like Abrahamic spiritual concepts invade, colonize, and devastate populations throughout. You can pick one. I don't mind which one you pick one. Do you know what I mean? Of the Abraham religions.
That's right.
In your experience and in your research, visiting all these African countries, the histories of, these things, in your experience, have you seen a group of people who have an African spiritual system who are trying to enforce their spiritual system on another people?
I thought you were going to ask me a deep question there, you got me, man. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In the African systems, people actually look for ways to learn more together. So I'll give you an example. My Babalawo from Abeokuta State in Nigeria, he sometimes takes trips to South Africa to learn from the Sangomas, because nature is not just his property, but maybe the Sangoma knows something he's yet to find out. So they go and they share information. Nowhere will you find in any Africans.
Okay, come back in. Did you hear what happened?
Oh yeah, your question about So and to finish the point, what I was saying is, you will never find any African or indigenous tradition where somebody will tell you that my God is better than your God, because we all know that the source, or because for me, God is just a concept. It's an idea that we use to try and describe the source of everything. God really isn't a person like the religions like to push it forward. It's just an idea that if we are alive, then there must be a source to us. That's all. It's a philosophical inquiry, if you will. But people have turned it into power games, and they manipulated people and killed millions as well as a result. But yeah, getting back to your question, no. Because again, as I said, my Babalawo will wake up from Nigeria and go all the way to South Africa just to learn extra practices, just to develop himself. Because whether it's conscious or subconscious, you already know you're this thing called God or the creator. You know you are an expression of it. So you cannot say mine is better than yours. It doesn't work like that. The important question is, how do you know to work with your source? That's the main in the traditions. How do you work with this energetic understanding? That's all the questions you're asking. Now, there's none of this hierarchy, top-down business. No, absolutely not.
Let's stay on for maybe another 20 minutes while my battery stays live.
No problem. Yes.
What was the last thing that I wanted to go into? We done nature, we done God.
Yes. And then we did ancestors.
We did ancestors.
Ancestors. Yes. Yes. We can.
So I'm just trying to think. Sorry.
Yeah, the other thing is that I wanted to put in there as well, because beyond the epigenetics, you know, we've got to the stage where I think people are.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, can you hear me?
That's good, bro. That's good.
Okay, yeah, I think there's a bit of a delay, you know. Everybody's on the internet now. We have nowhere to go.
Yeah, I know.
So
sorry, before we go into it, brother, can you tell everyone where to find you, please? Okay,
so we can be found on the www ancestralvoices.co.uk. You know, our work is 10 years worth of work, so I can't really go into all of it. All I'll suggest is go to this website. You will read free articles. You can see some of the services that we deliver and some of the knowledge products that we have. Should I type it into the conversation thread, Sarah?
Please, type it there. Yeah, please.
I will do that. So anyone interested in learning more, please go to our website, which I'm typing into the conversation thread right now. Nice one. Okay, so yes, Sarah, go on then.
Let's continue. Continue. So we did ancestors, we did God. What we're gonna do next?
I think, Sarah, one of the places that we can talk about, this is a slight extension from the ancestral reverence, because remember, the ancestor reverence is not also just to do with those who've gone, it's to do with us, because we're the ones who are here currently. Yeah, and for me, it's important for people to understand that this is not some kind of religious or philosophical endeavor only. This is about getting to the core aspects of yourself and learning how to pull aspects of yourself out in order that you can be even more useful to yourself. Yeah. So, you know, we have this other branch in science now called neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro-linguistic programming is very important, sir, because it's for instance, it's what they use to give be a soldier certain levels of motivation. You even use it in education. It's basically like a